This is your former husband.
We were separated in 2008. The divorce was final in 2009.
But you sort of remained cordial.
Yes.
And your mother recently passed away. When your mother passed away, she left a house.
Yes.
He said, could I live in Mom's house until it was sold?
The case begins with two people who are divorced but still connected through past life and circumstances. Even after separation, they remained on good terms. The situation becomes emotional when the woman's mother passes away and leaves behind a house. At this point, the ex-husband steps in and asks for help. He requests to live in the house temporarily until it is sold. The plan seems simple and cooperative. A temporary arrangement based on trust is formed. But this temporary stay becomes the starting point of a much bigger conflict that will later turn into a legal battle.
Did she charge you rent?
Yes, Your Honor. $850 a month.
And you didn't have a written lease?
No, Your Honor.
And he paid his rent?
Yes.
The case begins with two people who are divorced but still connected through past life and circumstances. Even after separation, they remained on good terms. The situation becomes emotional when the woman's mother passes away and leaves behind a house. At this point, the ex-husband steps in and asks for help. He requests to live in the house temporarily until it is sold. The plan seems simple and cooperative. A temporary arrangement based on trust is formed. But this temporary stay becomes the starting point of a much bigger conflict that will later turn into a legal battle.
And he moved out because you sold the house?
He took actually all the appliances.
Well, tell me which appliances he took.
He took a Sub-Zero refrigerator. There was a Bosch dishwasher. There was a Thermador wall oven. And there was a 48-inch Viking range.
The situation takes a sudden turn when the house is sold. This forces the ex-husband to move out. But what happens next shocks everyone. Instead of leaving the property as it is, he removes expensive built-in appliances from the house. These are high-end kitchen items including refrigerator, dishwasher oven, and commercial range. The value is significant. This is the moment the case shifts from a simple housing issue into a serious property theft dispute. Now the question becomes clear. Did he have the right to remove these items, or was this a direct violation of ownership rights?
Well, what did you think when you went into the house and you saw that all the appliances were gone?
I was under the impression I was going to be there for a year. I had sold them to different people.
What gave you the right to sell her appliances?
I was catching up on some bills.
Now both sides give completely different explanations. The woman is shocked and says everything was gone without permission. She even admits she was angry and left messages. On the other hand, the man tries to justify his actions by saying he thought he would stay longer and he needed to fix financial problems. He openly admits selling the appliances to other people. This creates a direct conflict between ownership rights and personal justification. The excuse of bills and repairs does not legally match the seriousness of selling someone else's property.
Are you a lunatic?
No, Your Honor.
What happened to that story? So is what you're telling me that you sold property that didn't belong to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,300. Get out of here.
At this stage, Judge Judy becomes extremely direct. She challenges his changing story and contradictions. She points out how his explanation keeps shifting from one reason to another. Under pressure, he finally admits the truth that he sold property that did not belong to him because he needed money. This is the turning point where his defense collapses completely. The emotional justification of fixing the house is no longer valid in front of legal reality. The judge delivers a clear and final decision. The defendant is held responsible for selling property that did not belong to him. The court awards $4,300 to the plaintiff as compensation. There is no further discussion or negotiation. The case ends immediately with a strong dismissal from the judge. Justice is delivered based on ownership rights and lack of permission.